Hi, I'm Barbara. Welcome to this week's episode of Craft Corner Kits to Go. This week we're going to make a peacock. I've got a peacock in my neighborhood that cries out every morning. I can hear him calling, and they're so pretty. So in order to do a peacock, you're going to need a half of a green paper plate or blue. Green works well. You're going to need a pre-printed pattern for the feet and bill. You'll need scissors. You're going to need a toilet paper roll or craft roll, a paintbrush, some turquoise or blue paint, some white glue, some glue dots, some Google eyes, and a little scrap of foam, a little square scrap of foam. And I think that's everything. What you're going to start out doing is you're going to paint your craft roll a blue. Now I like a kind of a dark turquoise, so I took dark blue and turquoise and mixed them together. But you just painted a pretty shade of blue. And of course you're going to have to let your roll dry before you go on to the next step. The next step is you're going to take your paper plate, and we're going to take and put some white glue on it, and I like to just dump a little bit out, but you can squirt some out or do whatever you do. I'm just putting a nice little amount right here, and then I'm going to take my little piece of foam and I'm going to just kind of spread this out with the foam, and then when I'm done spreading it out, I'm just going to put the foam piece right here to dry. So your step after that is you're going to take your feathers, which I didn't mention feathers, did I? I always forget something. But you need some feathers that are in bright blues and greens. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my feathers and I kind of glue them across the top here. And I mixed all my feathers together. I've got some purples in here too. And I mix all my feathers to make a pretty fantail for my peacock. So I'm just going to spread my feathers out. And I've got different size feathers, so you just kind of have to arrange them so you're kind of making a peacock fan with your feathers. And I dip mine into the glue, which helps it stick a little bit better. And I'm just putting feathers all the way around this paper plate in sort of a fan pattern. And I'm filling in my spots that don't have any feathers. So eventually I'm going to have feathers all the way around the paper plate. And this takes more than just a few minutes to do. I'm working on it, and it will take you longer than this to do it, I'm sure, if you do a good job. But when you're done, you should basically have your whole paper plate covered with feathers and have it look like this. And then you want to set that aside and let it dry. So you could be doing this while you're waiting for your toilet paper roll to dry. And so now, of course, I have a dry toilet paper roll. It took longer than just a few minutes, but I made this one yesterday, so I know it's good and dry. And I made this yesterday, which is my piece of paper plate with the craft foam and the feathers. And if you need to go back and fasten some more on, you can repeat this process, but you just have to let it dry until it's really dry. Okay, so now you're ready to assemble. And you have 2 feet and a bill that you need to cut out. And after you cut them out, then you'll notice that they have this dotted line. On that dotted line, you want to fold your foot and fold your other foot. And on the bill, I'm going to take that and fold it this way so that the dotted line is on the outside. The reason I'm doing that is that way, if it's partially open on my peacock, you're not going to see the lines. So my peacock bill, I'm ready to put on. So I need a glue dot for that. And that's his mouth. And I just put my glue dot on the mouth, and then I stick it where I think it should go on my peacock. Okay? Then I'm going to take the eyes and stick my glue dot on an eye and put my eye right above that bill, like that, and then put my eye on the other bill, like this, and I have a face on my peacock. Now you will have a piece of this purple fluffy, which is about 1 inch long, that you're going to have like this, and you want to take a glue dot and make this your peacock's top knot, and it's going to go right, the glue dot's going to go right inside between his eyes, and then you're going to take your little fluffy and you're going to stick that to the glue dot. So now your peacock has some hair. Now we need to fasten the feet on our peacock, and since I have folded up on these dotted lines, then I'm going to put a glue dot right at the front of that fold and line up with my front of my peacock and glue his legs on, which the top of that fold, I put it on the outside and then fasten that to the inside of the tube. So now my peacock has 2 feet and a face. So all we've got left is to glue his tail on. Now I'm going to take 2 glue dots, and I'm going to figure out where the front of my peacock is. Therefore, I know where the back of my peacock is. And I'm going to put 2, maybe 3 pieces of glue on this. Then I'm going to take this tail and the white part of this foam, and I'm going to line it up and push it and hold my fingers here and push the foam on to my peacock like this. And if that doesn't hold it, then I'm going to use another piece of foam, or I'm sorry, of glue dot, because this foam doesn't stick to that glue as well as I'd like it to. So it may take more than just a couple. But we're trying to get some area so that the tail actually sticks to the cardboard tube. So with enough glue dots, this will hold. So if you have trouble, just put another glue dot on. But there you have it. You have a peacock. That's it for this episode of Craft Corner Kits to Go. I'll see you next time.